welcome to Rio News. I'm Andrea Aguiar.
And I'm Jaime Aparicio, helping you stay up to date on all the latest news. An American missionary was killed overseas by an indigenous tribe off the coast of India. We have Wesley Fukuda with details on the incident.
On November 17th, Alan Chow died from fatal injuries by the hands of the indigenous tribe known as the Sentinelese. Alan was a Christian missionary and adventurer, exploring many exotic places and preaching the word of God to people he met, and was loved by his family and friends. Alan had heard of the Sentinelese and was fully aware that they are an indigenous tribe. Authorities would not allow people near the island, and the tribe would attack anyone that would go near it. Knowing all this, Alan was still determined to reach the island to try and preach the word of God to them, claiming that he was trying to save them. In his journal and final letter to his family, he describes the events about how he attempted to approach the island, only to be met with flying arrows, one of the arrows even piercing his Bible. Despite that, Alan was determined to spread the word of God to them, which would ultimately cost him his life. In his final words in his letter, he feared that he would die, and that if he did, he asked to forgive the people that killed him. Chow's parents said that they forgive the tribe and that his son did this of his own free will. Alan would have also been dangerous because he has many microbes that the isolated island does not have. This is Wesley Fukuda for Rio Hondo News.
LeBron James returned to Cleveland for the first time since joining the Los Angeles Lakers. The game was expected to be in favor of the Lakers, but the Cleveland Cavaliers put on the fight. The Lakers won 109-105. We have Daniel Gomez with a review on this exciting game.
On November 23rd, the Los Angeles Lakers traveled to Cleveland to face the Cavaliers. This match was expected to be an easy win for the Lakers by analysts. The 2-14 Cavaliers were still retooling their roster and didn't have the star power to pull out wins. To make matters worse, Cleveland star player J.R. Smith has been vocal over his displeasure with the team and has announced he was looking for a trade. On the bright side, this was a homecoming for LeBron James. The superstar played in Cleveland for 11 years and won an NBA title with several finals appearances. The crowd gave James a standing ovation, and the stadium team created a video honoring his time there. This gave the Cavaliers strong motivation to show that they can compete. The game was a push and pull struggle, with the Cavs usually in the lead. In the end, the Lakers would clutch a win in the final moments, but the Cavaliers silenced critics with a hard-fought game. The final score would be 109-105, and LeBron James had this to say after the homecoming.
For my 11 years I played for this franchise, I just tried to give everything I could, both on the court and off the court. Represent this city, represent this community, with the utmost respect, be a role model off the floor, be a leader on the floor, and, to come back and get the reception that I got tonight, it means a lot.
This homecoming was an uplifting time for LeBron James and a huge win on the road for the Lakers. The ever-developing team will aim to continue their win streak against the Orlando Magic at the Staples Center. This is Daniel Gomez with Rio Hondo News.
The Roadrunners men's soccer team faced off against College of the Desert in the first round of the Southern California Regionals. We'll send you now to Ignacio Cervantes with the results.
Following a stellar regular season, the Rio Hondo men's soccer team were eliminated from SoCal Regionals at the hands of underdogs College of the Desert at Rio Hondo College, Saturday, November 19th. 3 unanswered goals from the visitors in the first 70 minutes made the difference for Desert. Rio Hondo managed the game well, had more possession and better chances, but their inability to convert on offense, as well as Desert's intent to sit back and defend, made things difficult for the home team. Lots of half chances for Rio turned out to be missed opportunities as Desert's counterattacks proved costly. Down 3-0, Rio pushed and never gave up late in the game. A sideline filled with Roadrunner fans encouraged the players on the field. They would go on to bite back twice through midfield sophomore Angel Flores, but the final whistle came before Rio could score a third. The game finished 3-2 to College of the Desert, signaling the end of the 2018 season for head coach Orlando Brenes and his boys.
The kids gave it their best shot at the end, and we had actually a pretty decent game. We gave up some terrible goals, but I think the kids played their hearts out, and I'm good with that. The season was a bit topsy-turvy in the sense that we started off very strong, and then we kind of faded and tied some teams that the win. So our overall record should have been a lot better than it is now. But even with our record now, we pretty
For El
much
Paisano, Ignacio
over 500.
Cervantes.
Right.
I mean,
The sequel to the boxing franchise Creed premiered this past Thanksgiving weekend, taking the #2 spot in the box office. We have Daniel Gomez with the latest on the film.
This past Thanksgiving week, the sequel to the critically acclaimed sports drama Creed dropped in theaters. The film follows Adonis Creed, played by Michael B. Jordan, as he deals with his boxing success, getting married, having a child, and being challenged by the son of the boxer who killed his father. The film may be a sequel to Creed, but also serves as a spiritual successor to the 1985 film Rocky IV. The Rocky film series has always focused on drama and sports action, and this film delivers on both those fronts. Sylvester Stallone and Dolph Lundgren reprised their roles as Rocky Balboa and Ivan Drago from nearly 35 years ago. Creed 2 takes advantage of this by constantly running parallels to Rocky IV. The film shared a release date with Disney's Wreck-It Ralph 2, but was still able to stand on its own and was well received by fans and critics. In many ways, Creed 2 serves as this generation's version of old Rocky films. The loud action and somewhat cheesy drama is easy to get invested in and makes the film a blast to experience.
Victor Drago, son of Ivan Drago, who infamously killed Apollo Creed, appeared today to issue a challenge to Adonis Creed.
Don't do this.
I ain't got a choice.
That's the same thing your father said, and he died right here in my hands.
Creed 2 is available in theaters nationwide and is a great viewing experience for fans old and new. This is Daniel Gomez with Rio Hondo News.
Taking the #1 spot in the box office this weekend with a gross profit over $84.7 million in Disney's Ralph Breaks the Internet. We go now to Danielle Azuris.
The Wreck-It Ralph sequel, Ralph Breaks the Internet, came to theaters on November 21st, and it's good, but it has its own problems.
Sugar Rush is getting unplugged. Oh no, I'm freaking out hard.
In this movie, we follow Ralph and Vanellope Von Schweetz after they have lived 6 years in this arcade, doing the same thing over and over again. Ralph is pretty content with his life, whereas Vanellope isn't. But things take a turn for the worse when Vanellope's game is broken and they have to go to the internet to find a piece that will help fix it.
If I'm not a racer, what am I?
Oh, you're my best friend. All we gotta do is find a part to fix your game. Everything goes back to the way it was.
But where are we gonna find that?
The internet!
What?
This movie has no central villain. There is nobody in particular that is the bad guy. That being said, there is a conflict here, and that conflict is really from the characters themselves. It's amazing how they were able to do this. It really feels personal and very much well thought out. That being said, this is probably the strongest part of its story, the plot. Unfortunately, the actual line gets lost within the internet stuff itself.
Wow.
Get rid of belly fat using this one weird trick.
Sassy housewives want to meet you. They do. Want to get rich playing video games?
Ralph Breaks the Internet is a bit clunky in paces. It ultimately has pacing issues and it gets lost in the internet world that it has created. That being said, the plot is overall good. This is a good sequel for the Wreck-It Ralph movies, and I see Disney has put their heart and soul into this movie. If you are looking for something to watch over the holidays and you have children but you do not want to be bored, I would definitely suggest Ralph Breaks the Internet. I'm Danielle Azuris reporting for El Paisano News. Have a nice day. Netflix is adding to their list of reboots with She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Danielle Azuris has the latest on this reimagined 80s show. When the original She-Ra Princess of Power series came out in the 80s, the main purpose was to sell toys and market little girls who were interested in He-Man, only with a Barbie doll design instead. The show was overall very campy, silly, and it was very obvious that they were just kind of trying to appeal to them. There was really no tactic for a show itself. It was made to sell toys. And even then, they still had a decent audience. People remember the show fondly. So when Netflix announced that they were going to reboot the series, there was naturally a lot of tension among fans and worries about what would happen.
The sword has chosen you. The time has come for your destiny.
Glimmer? I see her
Turbo.
The show follows similar beats to the original. We are introduced early on to Adora, a Horde soldier for this bad guy side, who is believed to think that the princesses are the bad guys. Of course, when she's brought out of that world, she is immediately hit with the fact that that was a wrong statement. It's very obvious that the showrunners had put a lot of thought into the characters and into the storyline. They want everything to interweave in a way that will overall pan out throughout the story. And while I do think there is stuff that by the end of the series you want to know more about, it never ends. It doesn't end on this note where you have to know what's happening. It's more like you would like to know what's happening. And I give Netflix and the showrunners a lot of applause for this, because it would have been very easy to leave it on a cliffhanger and kind of push for that, but instead they did kind of tie the bow up on their story and end it on a positive note, but still give you something to look forward in the next season. If friendship and magic is for you, the show might be just up your alley. I'm Danielle Studios reporting for El Paisano News. Have a nice day.
Classic Disney movie Lion King will be rebooted into a live-action film starring the original voice of Mufasa, James Earl Jones. Jaime Aparicio has the latest on this highly anticipated film.
Next summer, Walt Disney Studios will release one of their most beloved animated classics remade with realistic animation to resemble actual animals. The Lion King, being directed by Jon Favreau, who also directed 2016's The Jungle Book, brings the same technology that brought those characters to life onto the next year's Lion King to breathe new life into the film. With a stellar cast lined up to voice Simba and company, Jon Favreau's The Lion King is already shaping out to be one of next year's most anticipated films. The most exciting announcement, however, comes from Disney revealing one of original voice actors from 1994's The Lion King. James Earl Jones will return to reprise his role as Simba's father, Mufasa, as teased in the first trailer.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom. But a king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
With the teaser trailer already gathering millions of views on YouTube, some Twitter users have come out to criticize the film's categorization of being labeled as a live-action film, with those same users saying that the film is in fact an animated remake of the original. Whatever the criticism towards the film, additions like Donald Glover as adult Simba and Beyoncé as adult Nala are surely to bring in current generation fans as well as those who have grown up with the original animated classic. This has been Jaime Aparicio for El Paisano Media. That's all we have for you this week. Follow us on elpaisano.com for more news. I've been Jaime Aparicio.
And I'm Andrea Aguiar. Have a happy holiday. Thank you for joining us.